After just about 3 months, we have finally made it here. We have finally made it to the finals of the fan-voted LBW Elite Championship #1 Contendership Tournament. Bron Breakker will be taking on Will Ospreay, and the winner will be facing Seth Rollins for the LBW Elite Championship in the main event of the rebooted memory. The following contest is the finals for the LBW fan-voted Elite Championship #1 Contendership Tournament. Introducing first, from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker has been on a tear in this tournament, defeating the likes of Kenny Omega, Shawn Michaels, and CM Punk to make it to the finals, where all he has to do is defeat Will Ospreay, and he can head into an Elite Championship match with an undefeated record. Well, that's definitely going to be hard to do, as another man who is undefeated in LBW so far, Will Ospreay, will be standing toe-to-toe with Bron Breakker. Introducing his opponent, from Essex, England, weighing in at 217 pounds, Will Ospreay. Now, before this tournament of Will Ospreay's career, he defeated Kurt Hawkins and Shawn Michaels. But in this tournament so far, Will Ospreay has defeated the likes of MJF, Eddie Kingston, and LA Knight. And he is headed against Bron Breakker, two men who are both undefeated in LBW. One man will be walking out with a loss on their record, and the other will be walking out with an Elite Championship opportunity at the rebooted memory. Remember, all the people in this tournament were voted by you, the fans. And this is what it's come down to. The Commonwealth Kingpin, Will Ospreay, taking on a blue chip talent like Bron Breakker. Both men staring face to face, and here we go. The bell has rung. Will Ospreay and Bron Breakker standing toe to toe. And Breakker going to look for a test of strength. And is Ospreay going to accept that? Yes, he is. Test of strength between Bron Breakker and Will Ospreay here. Breakker now going to get that early advantage on Will Ospreay. What's Ospreay thinking? Trying to get Breakker down. But Breakker able to put himself down, bringing up Ospreay, gonna send him overhead, and Ospreay able to land on his feet. Super kick caught by Breakker, sent off to the side, ducks the clothesline into a headlock by Will Ospreay. Able to psych out the meathead Bron Breakker. Speaking of Bron Breakker, when you talk about Bron Breakker, there's no bread, there's no water, just me. As Will Ospreay sending Breakker off to the side. Setting him into the corner, big clothesline from Ospreay. And now a parallel take, or not a parallel, snapmare takedown, taking down Bron Breakker. As that chin lock in on Bron Breakker. And Bron, oh no, Ospreay gonna run off the turnbuckles. Breakker gonna send him overhead. Ospreay with the schoolboy roll up. Could he get the upset victory here? 2, but Breakker able to get the shoulder up at the count at 2. And a big forearm to Will Ospreay. Grabbing him by the goozle, 2 hands here. What's he got in mind? Sends him into the corner. Big clothesline from Bron Breakker. Big knee to the midsection. And Bron Breakker now looking for a superplex onto Will Ospreay. Taking him down to the mat. Breakker grabbing the Commonwealth Kingpin. What's he got in mind? Big forearm to the side of the head of Ospreay. Another forearm to Ospreay. Grabbing him by the hand. Irish whip into the corner. Oh my God. A hammer throw sending Will Ospreay and making sure he ends up on his head. And Breakker now looking overhead. Belly to belly suplex for Will Ospreay. Ospreay going to try and get back up into the corner here. And here comes Bron Breakker from corner to corner. Almost misses the spear. Big enziguri from Will Ospreay. Springboard gets a mean right hand from Bron Breakker. Ospreay is down and out on the floor. And Breakker gonna head to the outside. What's he got in mind? Breakker grabbing at the head of Will Ospreay, but Ospreay sends him into the barricade, trying to create some separation. A big boot from Breakker. Now grabbing him by the goose off to the forearms, military press. Oh my God, he might have just snapped his back on the ring apron. Ospreay immediately grabbing at the back. Oh my God. Ospreay might be out of this. might have just broke his back on the ring apron, and Breaker now gonna plop him right over the barricade. Now slamming him face down onto the barricade, pulling him over, and Breaker setting up Ospreay for a big knee strike, sending Ospreay back over the barricade. Ospreay taunting to the fans. Bron Breakker has yet to have a match outside of this tournament. So his next match after this tournament, win, lose, or draw, will be his first official match in LBW. And Breakker grabbing the head of Ospreay. Ospreay pushes him off though. Big enziguri from Will Ospreay. And now a big forearm. Ospreay raining down heavy shots on Bron Breakker. And a drop kick sends Breakker through the middle rope and out to the apron. And Will Ospreay has something in his mind, grabbing Bron Breakker, pulling him over the top rope. We've seen this with LA Knight last week. Will Ospreay, shooting star press on the back of Bron Breakker. Breakker grabbing at his head, trying to get out of harm's way here, but Ospreay gonna take advantage here for the cover. 1, 2, but Breakker gets a shoulder up. And Ospreay cannot believe it. Grabbing at Bron Breakker, sending him into the corner. What's he looking for here? Looking to kick off the chest of Breakker. Super kick by Will Ospreay into the shooting star press. Will Ospreay with that 2K leg combo. 1, 2, and a kick out from Bron Breakker. Ospreay trying his best to fight off against Bron Breakker. To the top rope. Breakker with a kip up though. Up to the top rope he goes. Breakker is unlike anyone I've ever seen before. And Ospreay though, able to counter, looking sunset flip. Lands on his feet, sit out power bomb to Bron Breakker. 1, 2, kick out by Breakker. Will Ospreay really did just pull that out of his ass and almost won the match from it. But now Ospreay has to think quick, try and put away Bron Breakker as he's getting back to his feet, but so is Breakker in the process. Forearm from Will Ospreay. Breakker unfazed in a forearm from Breakker. Forearm from Ospreay. Big forearm from Breakker. A chop from Will Ospreay with a mean forearm. Never mind. Big uppercut from Will Ospreay. And now, went for the roundhouse kick. Breakker blocked it. Big forearm. Misses the boot. Will Ospreay looking German suplex. Breakker sends him down. Kip up into the back elbow by Bron Breakker. Breakker misses the close on Ospreay. Pele kick. Breakker off the ropes. Trying to rebound here. Big chop from Ospreay. Ospreay going to send Bron Breakker off the ropes. Breakker able to reverse it. Handspring into the back. It's a Gary taking down Bron Breakker. Oh, not taking him down. Still on his feet, but Breakker slamming him down to the ground with a spine buster. And Breakker off the ropes, looking for Will Ospreay. Oh my God, Spanish fly. Dropping Bron Breakker on his head. He did not get all. He did not get the full rotation of that Spanish fly, but hell, it might have even done more damage to Bron Breakker. Will Ospreay needs to capitalize. Will Ospreay needs to pin Bron Breakker. Bron is out of it. Ospreay gonna try and get back to his feet in the corner here. What does he have in mind? Something to put away Bron Breakker. Ospreay could be looking. Robinson special. Breakker ducks and looking to recline back on Will Ospreay. Steiner recliner. Cinched in on Will Ospreay. Ospreay has nowhere to go. Nowhere to run. Breakker just wrenching in on the back and the neck of Will Ospreay. Breakker trying to get Will Ospreay to tap. Will Ospreay tap out. Breakker still wrenching on the back. But Ospreay with a roll through it. Moment power. Breakker 1, 2. But Breakker gets the shoulder up just in time. And Will Ospreay looking at an 18 destroyer. Breakker flips him off. What's he looking for? Or not like that. Big Frankensteiner from Bron Breakker. Kicked in the midsection. Breakker now looking for that Steiner. Screw driver on Will Ospreay. Ospreay counters though. Oh my God, spinning tombstone pile driver to Bron Breakker. Into the cover, 1, 2, but Breakker gets his foot under the bottom rope. This match is total ape you-know-what. Will Ospreay and Bron Breakker both trying to find a way to win. And Will Ospreay now hooking the arms of Bron Breakker, looking to put this one to bed. Breakker off the ropes, looking big clothesline, turning Will Ospreay inside out. Oh my God. Bron Breakker picking up Will Ospreay, putting him up top. What does he have in mind? Headed up to the top rope, grabbing Will Ospreay. And what does he have in mind? Oh my God, Frankensteiner. Will Ospreay lays on his feet. And Bron Breaker's spear. Wasting no time. But Will Ospreay rolls out of the ring just in time. Bron Breakker wasn't even phased. He's seen Will Ospreay let him feel like that before. He's seen him do it against LA Knight last week. And he just speared him with no hesitation. I think Breakker knew what he was doing with that Frankensteiner. And his plan worked. The only part of that did not work is he did not have Will Ospreay rolling out of the ring in his plans. And oh my God, look at the power of Breakker just grabbing Ospreay by the tights and throwing him onto the apron. Breakker grabbing Will Ospreay and now putting him up. Looking military press, on Ospreay, but Ospreay, oh my God, Oscar onto the apron, oh my God. Oscar from Ospreay, from the inside to the outside, taking out Bron Breakker. What a maneuver from Will Ospreay. As Ospreay gonna try and roll back into the ring. You best believe his neck, back, his head, his everything is hurting right about now. As Bron Breakker gonna try and regroup here on the outside. Ospreay gonna start pulling himself up in the corner. I can already see Breakker getting up in front of me here. Breakker trying to slide his way into the ring. Just trying to get into the ring, but Ospreay, oh my God. Tilt-a-whirl tornado DDT! Oh my God, through the middle rope to Bron Breakker. Spiking him on his cranium. Shout out AJ Atlas. Will Ospreay trying to get to his feet with Bron Breakker. And Will Ospreay looking down at Bron Breakker. He knows what he has to do. He's grabbing Breakker by his head. Looking for the odds. What the hell is Bron Breakker doing? Reverse Spanish fly off the middle rope. Breakker is going insane. I've never seen a performance like this before in LBW. And Breakker now able to take that close on like a champ. Big boot to Ospreay. Big forearm from Ospreay. Big forearm from Breakker. Ospreay super kick. Breakker super kick. Ospreay discus. Forearm. Got caught by the goozle. Breakker gets chopped down. Big elbow from Ospreay. Kick to the head by Ospreay. Will Ospreay at the rope gets popped. The power slam by Bron Breakker. Breakker has this one. Breakker has this in the bag. Looking to put away the Commonwealth Kingpin right here, right now. Will Ospreay trying to regroup. Trying to get back to his feet. Trying to think of a quick game plan. As Bron Breakker's behind him, looking spear. Ospreay catches him. Double underhook into the Stormbreaker. Landing Bron Breakker, hooking the far leg and the close leg. 1, 2, 3, and we have a winner. Bron Breakker's undefeated run is over, and Will Ospreay's undefeated run continues. What a match! Here is your winner of the LBW Elite Championship #1 contender fan voted tournament, Will Ospreay! What a match between these two men. Both bona fide superstars in the future of LBW. And what a match to prove who is the best between the two men. But tonight, Will Ospreay was just a little bit better than Bron Breakker, and Ospreay gonna go show some respect to the blue chip talent Bron Breakker, proving Bron can hang with the best of them. What a match between these two. The tournament is over, and we are officially on the road to the rebooted memory.